Hi, this is another installment of day-to-day life as an expat, specifically as a senior retired expat living in Ecuador. That would be myself. I'm Deborah Valerie, and this channel is 60 plus Black women expats. And our purpose here is to provide information for those in their retirement years on where they might want to relocate. I have a Facebook group by the same name, 60 plus Black women expats, which has over 3,500 women from all over the world. And so you can ask questions there, and there's probably someone in that group who has been to that part of the planet and can tell you about that particular area. And not all 3,500 are expats. Probably maybe 50% are already living abroad, and the other half are those who are still traveling and maybe are snowbirds and come and leave the U.S. on an annual basis during the winter season, but return home, and that's fine too. And then there's those who are maybe a couple of years from retirement, and they're gathering research so they can decide where they might want to spend retirement years if their dream is to live outside the United States. And that's becoming more of a choice for a lot of seniors. And I speak specifically to Black women who are over 60 or who are ready to stop working and live abroad, because that's where I am. That's what I can speak to. That's what I've done. So I've started a segment on, because it was requested, that I not tell somebody about all the beautiful sunsets and the community functions that we have here in Manta, but I just give the nitty-gritty day-to-day life and maybe some of the things that surprised me that were different from the U.S., maybe some annoyances, so that they will be prepared. Because, as she put it, I'm not going on vacation, I'm moving. I'm going to live there every day. I want to know the good, the bad, the ugly. So today I decided this is the fourth segment, so there's 3 other segments. If you haven't watched them, I suggest you go back and watch them. Today I'm going to be covering what we're experiencing right this minute, which is power outages or blackouts. This started about 2 weeks ago on a Sunday. It was not planned. Now, last year in November to the end of the year, there were scheduled blackouts, and I understand they had done that the year before. I don't know yet. I haven't confirmed that that's an annual schedule, where in November to the end of the year, there are scheduled rolling blackouts, and that's to conserve energy, because Ecuador sits right between Peru and Colombia, and we don't generate enough power for our country, so they buy energy from those two. This year, they said they did not get enough rainfall because we're powered by, I think, turbines or something like that. I don't want to try to explain more than what I have knowledge of. I just know we have a energy shortage, and this was unexpected when it happened on Sunday. It happened around 4 o'clock in the morning. I woke up sweating because I normally sleep with a fan right near my screen door, and it gives me enough cool air to make it a very pleasant sleep. Well, when the power went off, so did the fan, and the room was warmer than I expected. Now, Manta, I live in Manta, which is right on the coast, and Ecuador gets its name from the fact that it is literally on the equator. So in Manta, the temperature is always in the 80s, 70s, 80s. Every morning I wake up to good morning. It's 77 degrees or 76 degrees. The high today will be 84 degrees. Wind, whatever, and UV index and stuff like that. So one of the reasons why Manta is such a desirable place, especially those who are coming from cold climates and have decided they never want a freezing winter again, Manta is an excellent choice, because It's 70 to 80 degrees, 365 days a year. Some days are hotter in the high 80s and they feel like 92. And some days are lower, around 74, and it might feel like 72. Still very, very pleasant. However, it's very humid and it is warm. And I say pleasant if you're walking on the ocean and there's a breeze, or there's not a strong sun overhead. It's usually overcast. Most days are overcast, but very bright, not dark and gloomy, which was one of my concerns. Because if you suffer from seasonal depression, then you would be concerned about a lot of cloud cover. This cloud cover does not bother me at all. In fact, it's cloudy right now and it's very bright. In fact, I have no artificial lighting to do this YouTube video. I'm just sitting by my glass doors. I have floor to ceiling glass and screen, and because I'm oceanfront, I get a nice ocean breeze. Well, I wish the breeze was a little stronger right now, but we are actually in a blackout right now. So I'm recording this. I'm not doing it live because when the power goes out, so does the Wi-Fi. So that's an annoyance because it wasn't planned. We didn't know it was going to happen. It caught the country by surprise. In fact, the president himself didn't find out until a day or two before the blackout, and as a result, he asked for the resignation of our energy secretary. And he's looking into where the money went to maintain the facilities that generate our energy, because it appears that we're not maintained. So not only did heads roll in terms of getting fired, but there's an investigation. So I like the fact that he appears to be very honest and upfront with what is going on here and taking action to resolve it. So he has said this is not going to last for months, and I certainly hope it doesn't. Sunday was election day and there were no blackouts, so I thought it had ended, but we had one on Monday and we had two yesterday, and we have them again today on Wednesday. This is being filmed, recorded on April 24th, Wednesday, April 24th. And it is now about 4, yeah, it's a little after 4, and we are in the middle of a blackout. And I'm not happy because it's a little hot. Now, one of the things that you can prepare for before you leave the States, if you are not already at your destination, you might want to investigate if that particular country, that particular city does have power outages. One of the things you can bring with you that I brought with me is a battery operated fan right here. And I thought it would be running while I take this video because I just purchased batteries for it maybe 2 weeks ago. The batteries in it rust. So because we are in a very humid climate, it is best not to store the batteries in whatever battery operated thing that you bring with you, because they will rust inside there. And so this is plastic, not metal, but the batteries, there's 6 large batteries encased in here, and they were quite rusty. So I had to get rid of those, buy new ones. And unfortunately, when I stored this, it was on, so these batteries are dead. And I'm not very happy because the other thing is, surprisingly, batteries are pretty expensive here, especially the larger ones. And I say more expensive than I'm used to paying. I did look at different places because I know some of in the local neighborhoods, or the bigger stores in the local neighborhoods and not the expat area, sometimes the prices are better. And that was the case with purchasing these batteries, because they were like $5 to $8 for 2 batteries, and it actually takes 6. For a pair of two was $5 to $8, average mostly $8 in some places. I actually found them for $2, so that was really I was really happy with that price. I don't know if that reflects on the quality of them or if in fact I did leave it on, because it's one of those where the on switch is in the off switch is in the center, not on the end. So I'm hoping that's it and not that it has rusted out. Um, I regularly clean. I have my floor fans too, because they will rust out. So I'll take the frame off and just dust within there or wipe within there to make sure that they don't rust out. And you have to be careful with anything and everything that is metal, because it will start to rust or oxidize. And so we're not, one of the unusual things, where I found unusual, is that we're responsible most of the time for the balcony rods that are metal. And usually whoever cleans our house, if we have, a lot of times, because it is very affordable, we'll have an assistant come in once a week, some people twice a week, and do the chores around the house that we don't want to do. And everything from going shopping for you, or paying bills, picking up things from the store for you, cooking, doing laundry, mopping, dusting. And one of the things that I asked my assistant to do is to maintain the balcony rails. And so maybe once a month or once every 3 weeks that she will wipe them down to keep them from rusting, because the landlord says that's my responsibility. That was a surprise. But I hear that's the case with a lot of us, that we're supposed to maintain the metal rotting of the balcony. So, and like I said, we normally pass that on to whoever is assisting us, and if we don't have an assistant, that's a chore we have to do. Okay, so I brought up powder outages because that's another thing you would not think to investigate about your condo or apartment or house, whatever you're renting, and that is when the power goes out. What's in your unit that's still on? Some places everything goes out, including the refrigerators. And so there were complaints about not being prepared, so people had their refrigerators and freezers fully stocked, and things started to defrost. Now, because the power is not out for a day or two, it's normally out 3 to 4 hours. The longest it's been out recorded, I've experienced 4 hours and 45 minutes, almost 5 hours, and that was not pleasant, because like I said, I lose Wi-Fi. So it causes you to plan ahead by keeping your phones charged up and making sure that you can communicate on your phone without Wi-Fi. I still have T-Mobile, so on my balcony I get a good signal, and certain places in the house I get a good signal. But I have to remember to charge it up, because when the power goes out in my unit, in my particular building, when the power goes out, we have a generator that keeps the elevator running up and down, so we don't have to climb stairs. It will keep the refrigerator going. Refrigerator, freezer will kick right on within 30 seconds of the power going out. That kicks on. And for some reason, my bathroom lights are on. I don't know why, but my bathroom lights are on. So those lights, and because I have a gas stove, I can still cook. So the electric ignition is out, but the gas isn't. So I can use a lighter and turn my gas stove on and cook. Now, of course, I can't use the microwave or the oven because they're electric. So that's something you want to, in some places that have convection tops or conduction stoves, then they can't cook because the power's out, and they may or may not have their water heater be electric. If it's electric, they're not going to get any hot water. So that would be something you probably might not think to ask that now you will ask. And that doesn't just apply to life here in Manta. Anywhere you go, those are things that you might want to jot down and not take for granted, but ask them about the your particular uh, resident. Is it going to be, what powers it? Does the power go out in that area? Is it a scheduled time of year that it goes out? Normally, how long does it go out? Do they give a notice ahead of time? They give us a notice. It is posted. When I say they give us a notice, they broadcast it. And usually someone will post it to our WhatsApp group. And so we can wake up and see what the scheduled time is. Usually for us, lately it has been from 4 o'clock in the morning to 9 a.m. So people wake up sweating unless they have a battery operated fan. And then again from noon to 3 or 4 o'clock. It's usually from noon to 4 o'clock. Today it did not go off at noon, but it did go off at around 3. And it'll probably come back on, I'm guessing, around 6. I didn't look at the schedule. I'm sure they probably posted it. But, so it did go off today. And unless I haven't read the notice today, so I don't know if we have any more information on how long this is going to last. The president did say he was buying more energy and to supply, so it would not last very long. The other thing that he said he would do, which I really appreciate because it shows that you care, is that he is going to subsidize the electric bills for the month of April. Half of the electric bill will be picked up by the government. I think that's pretty darn considerate. I live in Texas, and when the grid went out that winter and people literally died because our power grids were not, plants were not serviced during COVID, and Abbott, the governor, had told them to self-inspect, and they said, oh yeah, everything's fine. It wasn't fine. And when it got freezing cold in Texas for a period of time, we lost power and people died. People literally died, and that was very sad. And some people's houses caught on fire because they were trying to heat or build fires in their garages or stuff like that. It was very sad. And no, Texas did not offer to subsidize the electric bill. In fact, a lot of people had their accounts wiped out because instead of $300 electric bills, they got $5,000 electric bills that were automatically deducted, and only discovered it when their mortgage wasn't paid or when their car note wasn't paid, that their accounts had been emptied because the rate of the energy for that month was astronomical, and they did not get refunds. So, and Texas did not subsidize. So before I complain about Manta, I have to put things in perspective. And the fact that we had the information as soon as he got it, he delivered that information to the citizens and took responsibility, and also decided to subsidize the month of April for our inconvenience. I think that's pretty darn good. So, let's see, how long is this gone? This is gone about 19 minutes. I don't want them to be too long. I don't want to just chit chat. I want to get on here and kind of tell you about the day-to-day stuff that you might not have anticipated, so you can come prepared. And one of those things would be if you have the opportunity and you are going to a warm climate or maybe a cold climate, to invest in appliances that are battery operated rather than dependent upon being plugged in with the energy. So if you're going to a cool place, you might want a battery operated heater or solar. I know some people were speaking of getting small solar generators, especially for those who live in houses, because not everybody is in a condo. You have a wide choice of types of living arrangements to here, and not all buildings um, supply the same amount of backup energy. So you do want to make sure that is known before you sign that lease as to what's going to be on in the event of a power outage. And then you can pack accordingly. And because I did not think to bring this fan when I initially came. When I went home in January, it was one of the things that was in storage, and I was very happy to pack it and bring it back. And I wish I would have brought batteries, but I didn't think of that. And like I said, the batteries are readily available here. They're just a little more expensive. Um, there are the next thing you might want to bring. Let me see. I think I made notes. Oh, if there's a particular spice that you like to cook with, you might want to ask the people in the community, which is why it's very, very important that wherever you go or wherever you're going to be for a period of time, that you find out if there is a local expat group and join that group. And way before you arrive there, don't wait till you get there to join the group. Join the group as early as you can and start asking questions, because these kinds of things you can start a conversation with and get answers to, because the people live there. One of the things that I health wise is I sweeten everything with agave syrup. And there's Costco's everywhere in Texas and probably everywhere in the U.S. And I get the agave syrup. I think it's like a 16 ounce maybe jar, or 8 ounce jar, a twin pack, like for $8.99 from Costco. And that will last me literally. Let's see, I brought some back with me in February. I just ran out the other day. So if anybody in the States is coming to Manta and wants to bless me with a gift, agave syrup from Costco would be really nice. Would be a really nice gift to receive, because now I'm out and I can have it shipped to the mule service in Fort Lauderdale, and then she'll have it sent to Manta. And that'll cost me probably $8 a pound, unless she's gone up this year. But I think it's $8 a pound once she ships it to me from Fort Lauderdale to Quito, and then from Quito there's a service called Servingenta, which is kind of like a local courier or UPS or whatever, but it'll get to my door. So I can get it, but I hate that my little fan is out, because there's not a real strong breeze today. So yeah, not happy. But Texas is hot too, so okay. What was I saying? Oh, so yeah, agave syrup. If you have a particular sweetener, agave syrup is available in Manta, but in very, very small quantity or volume. I think I found like maybe a 4-ounce bottle that was $9. I go through it way too fast for me to spend $9 on something that's probably going to last me a couple of weeks. So you might, if you have a particular sweetener, you might want to find out if it's available Now we have um, monk uh, monk powder, which is a very healthy sweetener, and stevia, and all of those are pretty reasonable. The monk fruit, monk fruit powder it's pretty pricey, but it's pricey in the States as well. Let's see. Another thing is that you might want to pack with you. I think on one of the prior um, of this segment of things you might want to pack for day-to-day life, or was I discussed the drinking water and the fact that we purchase purified water, and it's very inexpensive, and the 5 gallon jugs are usually available in your condo, and you just purchase them at the concierge and they bring them up. And however large your household is, one 5 gallon will last me a week. So I usually get one a week, and it's $4. Went up a dollar. It used to be $3 in 2023. So that's not a big deal. And but I discussed parasites that you might pick up, because you might drink some juice, or you have a canned beverage or bottled beverage, but you pour it over ice that may not have been purified. So if you live here, you're going to eventually pick up a little stomach bug. Uh, and one of the things, and you can go to the doctor for it, but you don't really have to. You can use home remedies, and one that I faithfully use and have passed around to just about everybody that comes to Manta that I meet. I can give them like a little care package. I had such a big shipment brought to me from the last person that visited, that I started selling little uh, 4 ounce bags of food grade diatomaceous earth, because it's excellent at getting rid of just about any kind of parasite that you can pick up. And it's just a teaspoon in water on an empty stomach in the morning for about 10 days, and you're done. And so that's uh, that's a good thing to travel with if you're going to go to a country, to anywhere. It's just good to have on hand, because I have not been able to find diatomaceous earth here in Manta. So I'm glad I brought it with me, and then when someone came to visit, they brought me a backup, because it will last a very, very long time, because it never spoils. That's good, and it's like a fine, fine powder, and you just mix it in water, and it's odorless and tasteless, and it kills parasites. And you can also use it for your pets. Uh, just a little bit in the dog food, depending upon the weight of the dog. So another thing I travel with is like oil of oregano, which is like, I call it the poor man's penicillin, because it is really, really good about just killing everything in your gut that's not healthy, and it helps me get rid of colds and whatever a whole lot quicker without taking antibiotics. And I've done that for both of those. I've used for decades, even when I was at home. And so whenever I travel, I take them with me, because I'm so thankful I did, because I have not been able to find food grade diatomaceous earth. And I do have a source. There is a source here for the oil of oregano, and I always get the pure 100% oil of oregano. Just a little vial. I think it may be, maybe 1 ounce. That'll last you a year, easily a year, because you literally only put 1 or 2 drops, maybe 3 drops in some whatever tea beverage. Very strong, very potent, very effective. And I think that's it. So this is the fourth segment on day-to-day life in Manta. I hope that I gave you some information you can use. If I did, continue to comment. Tell me what else you would like me to cover, whatever comes to mind. And if I know it, I will tell you. If I don't, I'll also share that I don't know, but I'll investigate. So until next time, please give me a thumbs up. I appreciate that. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. Um, the reason I want that is because somebody that needs this information may not ever see it, because the algorithm will only pick up my YouTube channel and show it to other people. If enough people watch it and watch it to the end, that improves the uh, the chances of it being coming up on somebody's feed. And so, and I would want somebody to know these kind of things before they pick up and leave and move to another country, and then wish somebody had told them what it was like day to day before they got there. So I really appreciate that. Until next time, don't give up on your dreams to live abroad. Take it one day at a time. Ask questions. And if you're a black female over 60, join 60 Plus Black Women X Factor. We'd love to have you. Until next time, bye.